What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 15, and we start today's episode off by seeing that Samaras is going to Palace for 1.2 million. They wouldn't match 1.4 million, the club from Selhurst Park, but they would match 1.2, and I said okay. I mean, it's not exactly what I wanted, but you know, it's enough. And Samaras has only had a few chances this year, hasn't really done much. I'm not a big fan of the guy anyway. Well, I thought it was okay, but he's not really done too much for us in the games he's played, so we may as well cash in on him. We don't really need him, so we may as well get the money for him. Zambrano again declines his contract, and also we see that Pocognoli has a bid from Newcastle on him, and we ask for 2.3 million, and we'll wait and see what they say, because I haven't really been impressed by Pocognoli. Obviously a new signing in real life, and if they can match 2.3 million, I'll let them take him. And as you can see, they did indeed accept a 2.3 million counter offer as Samaras goes to Palace for 1.2 million. So it looks like Samaras and Pocognoli are both about to leave the club, and I'm okay with that, because neither of those players have convinced me in the first season, and so they can leave. Zambrano again has declined his contract, and this guy just does not want to come to West Brom at all. He seems to think that West Brom is beneath him. He seems to think as though, you know, he can do a lot better than us, as you can see by what he says there. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. I think he'd be a very decent player for us as a free agent signing, but you never know. Still, after that we saw that Australia came into us and said, would you manage our nation? And we said we'd think about it, because of course in the last episode you saw Uruguay come in for us, and I did say I'd rather manage a project in terms of a national team, and Australia could be a decent project. They've got some decent young players, and of course one of their superstars in Tim Cahill is of course a love interest of mine, but still, they've got a very, very decent squad, Australia, and they could have some good young players too. So we'll wait and see. Probably not, but we'll wait and see. But following that, we had a game against Everton here at Goodison Park, and as you can see, Everton currently sitting in 13th place. They've really been underperforming this year. You know, Martinez in his second season hasn't really hit the heights as they were doing for large parts of last season, and as you can see, their team is still very, very good. You know, no doubt about it. Lukaku's on the bench, interestingly enough, but still some very good players in there, and obviously Morales is a great player, and Distal and Jagielka are a great centre-back partnership. Coleman was a great right back last year. Howard's a great goalkeeper, and you know, they've got a good squad, so it's surprising to see how poor they've been this season. And as you can see by my lineup as well, we did go back to the normal League 11 after the victory over Crewe Alexandria in the FA Cup in the last episode, in the last game. We needed 2 late goals from Danny Ings and Victor Anichebe, who were both on the bench for this game. So neither of those players could tie down a first-team start for this one, but I did have them on the bench just in case. And as we took on Everton here at Goodison Park, the first chance would fall to the home side as Kevin Morales, the Belgian, plays it inside towards Samuel Eto'o. The former Chelsea man collects the ball, plays it backwards towards Morales. Morales crosses the ball in, picks out Ross Barkley, free header for the young man, but he puts the ball just wide, and thankfully he did, because I didn't want to concede straight away, and it was still 0-0. And in the 24th minute, Brown and Day collects the ball, tries to skip round his man. I thought there should have been a free kick there, wasn't given, and from that Everton broke. Barkley was through again, but this time, although his attempt was on target, Ben Foster made a great save and kept it at 0-0, so still scoreless. And in the 45th minute here, another great chance for Everton. Kevin Morales collects the ball and finds Ross Barkley. Barkley shoots, but the ball goes just over the bar, so Barkley was the danger man for Everton. They kept on finding him, but he couldn't find the back of the net, so still 0-0. And in the second half, we had a free kick. It was cleared away by James McCarthy. It came to Pocognoli on his way out to Newcastle United, it seems. He finds Will Hughes, and what a ball by Will Hughes. Picks out Matija Nastasic, and 2 new signings in the summer combine, and get the first goal of the game here at Goodison Park. It is indeed Matija Nastasic with his second goal of the season. He scored against Swansea in our 3rd game of the year, I think it was, and he scores here as well. It's a great finish by Nastasic, and again, I didn't bring him in to score goals, but he seems to have a very powerful strike on him on his left foot. Great ball by Will Hughes. What a great free ball to pick him out, and a great finish by our centre-back to make it Everton 0, West Bromwich Albion 1 at Goodison Park in a fantastic start to this second half. And after Everton were looking so menacing in the first half, I was sitting there wondering whether they would make us pay in the second half for not really attacking and just sitting back. And, you know, instead in the second half, I went out, tried to attack, tried to score goals, and we got one there. So 1-0, and it was a great chance again for Everton in the 62nd minute. But Samuel Eto'o, who's usually so deadly from that type of range, ends up putting the ball wide and out for a goal kick. So huge miss by Eto'o, and it's still Everton 0, West Brom 1. And in the 67th minute, what a run this is by Varela. Absolutely fantastic. Body feints around Jagielka. Brilliant run by Varela. He keeps on going and shoots, but Howard makes a good stop and denies him. So what a run that was by Varela, but it was still 1-0. And from the corner, it is crossed in by Varela, who won us the corner with that shot. He puts the ball into the centre, and who scores? It's Joleon Lescott, a former Everton defender, who heads it past Tim Howard. It shows the respect with his celebration. No celebration for a former player at the ground of his, well, his former ground, if you will, and heads it past Howard and makes it Everton 0, West Brom 2. So what a great header by Lescott. And as things stood, we're on course for another victory in the league, and I think that would be, what was that, 3 out of 5, which isn't too bad considering the fact that we were tipped to get relegated at the start of the season. So we've been on some good form of late, and in the 76th minute, another great chance for Ross Barkley, but that lad's shooting boots were not on correctly today. He was not getting his shots on target. Every time he had an opportunity, he kept on wasting it. It was still 2-0. But in the 86th minute, Lukaku got on the ball for Everton. He spread the play out wide towards Gareth Barry. Barry collects it, plays it back inside to Lukaku, and unfortunately for us, well, it's Matej Nastasic who scores at both ends. It's an own goal from our Serbian centre-back. There's nothing he can do about it. He's trying to block the Lukaku shot, but instead, he actually diverts the ball in off the far post and into the back of the net. Had he not touched it, it would have gone wide for a goal kick, but instead, it goes in, and it's Everton 1, West Brom 2. So could Everton score another goal here and have a late comeback and draw this game 2-2? Well, from kickoff, I give the ball straight away. Lukaku gets onto it and finds Barry. Barry plays it backwards towards Seamus Coleman, who long balls the ball into the box, and well, Darren Gibson heads it past the former Manchester United goalkeeper Ben Foster. So a former United midfielder heads it past the former United goalkeeper, puts the ball into the back of the net, and makes it Everton 2, West Brom 2. So 2 goals in a matter of seconds, and we throw away what was going to be a brilliant result here at Goodison Park. I mean, the defending from me there was really poor, you don't need to tell me, but even so, a long ball into the box, I mean, that should have been dealt with all day long. And, you know, Nastasic and Lescott, they both scored in this game, you know, they were playing quite well, and then Nastasic really was very, very poor on both goals there in terms of positioning. So it's 2-2, and we almost won the game late on in stoppage time. Patrick Roberts shooting, but Tim Howard saving and keeping the score at 2-2, and it was how the game finished. So, you know, before the game, had you offered me a draw, I would have said, yeah, that's good, that's not a bad result. Yes, Everton have been underperforming, but they're still a very good side. But instead, to be 2-0 up, you know, with 3 minutes to go and concede twice in a matter of seconds, it's just not good enough. So very, very disappointed there. You know, we should have won that game, and instead we threw it away with some poor defending through me and a bit of bad luck as well with Nastasic's own goal, and we do indeed draw the game. And following that, again, we saw Zambrano decline his contract, and it's very frustrating now, but I don't think we're going to be able to sign the guy because he just does not want to leave and come to the Hawthorns. And we also saw as well, how about this, that Newcastle United wanted £0 for Gael Bigaramana, and I was just like, what? Seriously? I put in some inquiries for some of the players that are on the loan list and the transfer list, and Newcastle just wanted nothing for Bigaramana. And in the top right, this is really funny as well, the chief executive says, you have inquired about this player and they have stated a value of £0, but you might want to try and get him for less. And I was sitting there thinking, really? Can I get him for less than £0? What are they going to do? Offer me some money to take Bigaramana off their hands? But yeah, £0 for Bigaramana. And I was sitting there thinking, this must be a glitch, because this is ridiculous. He's not that bad of a player, is he? And we put him in the transfer offer and we'll wait and see what happens there. We also saw as well that transfer offer came in for Ben Foster. Genoa want our captain for £8 million. And I was sitting there thinking, I don't really want to sell Foster because he is the captain. I made him captain at the start of the season. I really like him. So we asked for 15 million and we'll wait and see what they say. And as well, you can see that a player's got sold. Pocognoli's gone to Newcastle for 2.3 million, which is okay with me because I never really got on with him. And Arsenal wanted 35 grand for Bellerin. So I think I must have found a glitch here, because some of the inquiries, I put in loads and loads of inquiries for players on the loan list, and Bellerin for £35,000. Now that's basically nothing. We actually offer 30 grand a week to see if they'd accept that as well. And it seems as though some of the players on the loan list have really low valuations, which is an unbelievable. I just sat there and thought, you know, seriously, that's all you want, you know, 35 grand a week for Bellerin, because, you know, I'm not going to sit there and tell you he's going to be the next right back of the future, the star right back for Arsenal for years to come, but, you know, he's still a decent player, and it's kind of surprising to see how cheap we could get him for. And again, Spurs wanted 45 grand a week for Nabil Bentaleb. As you can see, it doesn't happen for every player. Newcastle wanted 750 grand for Rolando Arons, or Arons, how you say it. You know, but it does happen for some. So some players have ridiculously low valuations, and I don't know why that is. So we offer Spurs 45 grand a week for Bentaleb, and I'm sitting there thinking, these could be some of the deals of the century, because, you know, as you can see, Zambrano again declines his contract. Very frustrating now. You know, Newcastle again accepted a bid here, as you'll see. for Bigger Amana of £0, which is what they wanted, so we can go ahead and offer Bigger Amana a contract. But it's just absolutely ridiculous that some of these players are going for such a low valuation. It must be a glitch, I don't know, but it seems as though some players on the loan list have ridiculously low valuations, and it's very bizarre. That's all I can say. But if we can get them for a very cheap deal, I'm certainly not going to say no regardless. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed the episode, then please do leave a like, because that is much appreciated and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.